From stories across the world to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcaster. Very good evening to you. I'm Nityasa Chandra.
Good evening, I'm Clifford Richards. First of all, we take a look at the headlines. The corona death toll in China increases to 213. The number of infected persons closes upon 10,000. The World Health Organization declares a global state of emergency. A special aircraft to be sent to Wuhan to get down Sri Lankan students. A woman who sustained injuries in the Easter Sunday attacks dies after 9 months. Britain is to officially exit the European Union today.
Now in your top story this evening, in a bid to control the spread of the coronavirus, many countries have taken steps to ban their citizens from traveling to China and to prohibit Chinese aircraft from entering their airports. Now this move comes as the first case of human-to-human transmission of the virus was reported outside China in America. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization yesterday declared a global state of emergency due to the coronavirus. The death toll caused by the coronavirus has reached 213. 9,962 patients who contracted the virus have been reported from China so far, bringing the total number of infected persons close to 10,000 patients. Over 15,000 persons suspected of contracting the virus are being tested. In addition, authorities are closely monitoring individuals who have had close contact with infected persons and who have also been in proximity where the virus had been detected. 102 infected persons have been reportedly identified in 20 other countries. Amongst these countries are the UK and Italy. 2 Chinese nationals on board a luxury ship that docked at a port close to Rome were identified to have contracted the disease. Currently, the vessel is being detained at a separate jetty. Staff and passengers numbering more than 7,000 are being quarantined. With the declaration of a global state of emergency, the World Health Organization is set to take a number of measures to control the disease. Amongst these, prominence will be given in providing foreign aid for low and middle-income earning countries that are at risk to prevent the virus from entering such countries. The World Health Organization on many occasions has declared a global state of emergency in this manner, such as during the swine flu outbreak in 2009, the spread of polio in 2014, the Zika crisis in 2016, and the Ebola epidemic in 2014 and 2019. A number of countries, including the USA, have banned their citizens from traveling to China. In addition, a number of countries have taken steps to cancel direct flights to and from China, whilst the arrival of Chinese tourists have also been limited. The Chinese government has also advised its citizens to limit overseas travel. Meanwhile, measures have been taken to recall the Sri Lankans residing at Wuhan in China repatriated are continuing. India today dispatched a Boeing jumbo jet to Wuhan, which can transport 472 passengers. The number of Indian students at Wuhan is currently over 600. An aircraft of the Turkish army will also be arriving in Wuhan for the repatriation of its citizens. However, it is reported the Chinese government is yet to approve the aircraft of certain countries to touch down at Wuhan. With the coronavirus being reported in Tibet, it was declared that all provinces of China have corona-infected patients. Countries that border China, including Russia and North Korea, have closed their frontiers and banned cross-border travel. The first corona-infected patient was reported in India yesterday. The patient is a student from the Kerala state of India who was pursuing his studies in Wuhan. The spread of the coronavirus overtook the pace of the 2009 SARS virus today. Meanwhile, U.S. health authorities reported that the husband of an American woman who was carrying the virus on arrival from China had contracted the virus today. This is the first occasion in which human-to-human transmission of the virus was reported outside China. In addition, another case of a person-to-person transmission was reported from Thailand today.
Meanwhile, a special aircraft left for China this evening to get down the 33 Sri Lankan students residing in Wuhan in China. Acting Ambassador at the Sri Lankan Embassy in China, KK Yoganathan, says steps will be taken to get them down tomorrow. Well, the airline UL 1422 of Sri Lankan Airlines left for Wuhan and is due to touch down at the Tianhe International Airport at Wuhan at around 11:15 p.m. local time today. Minister Pavitra Vanyarchi says once the students have been repatriated, they will be securely transferred to the Dirthalava army camp and will undergo special medical examinations over a period of 14 days and post-monitoring.
The students who are staying with their family members in Wuhan will be departing for Sri Lanka soon. The discussion we had with the government of China in this regard has succeeded. We are expecting to bring the children who are staying in Wuhan very soon. In this regard, we have made all the arrangements to bring the students to Sri Lanka. We hope that they will be in Sri Lanka very soon. Other than the students who are staying in Wuhan, we have made arrangement for 72 students to return to Sri Lanka today. With these 72, by tomorrow, 661 children would have arrived to Sri Lanka. Other than the 661, we have some more students in China to come to Sri Lanka. We are making all the effort for their departure. If anyone who is staying currently in China wants to return to Sri Lanka, they can contact the embassy to request any arrangement that they want us to make.
Minister Pavitra Vanyarchi says when passengers, especially from China, arrive by air, they're being escorted through a separate entry point. The minister said the students will be transported in a special bus to the Thalava army camp and another separate vehicle will be deployed to transport their luggage. The minister added the army is taking the full responsibility of this task and they are provided with the required facilities including medical facilities.
ඒ බස් රථයේ සියලු පහසුකම් සලසා තියෙනවා. läගෙන එන පාර්සල් සහ ගමන් මළු. හමුදාව මගින් ප්‍රවාහනය සඳහා වෙනමම රථයක් යොදවලා තියෙනවා. කෙලින්ම ඒ දරුවන් දියතලාව හමුදා කඳවුරට රැගෙන යනවා. හමුදාව මේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් සියලු වගකීම බාරගත්තා. ඔවුන්ට අවශ්‍ය සියලු පහසුකම් වෛද්‍ය පහසුකම් සහ සියල්ල සලසනවා.
Chief Consultant Epidemiologist Dr. Sudat Samravira says Sri Lanka is situated in a low-risk zone when considering the spread of coronavirus. Therefore, he says there is no need to have any undue fear with regard to the disease. A special meeting to educate the public on the steps taken by the Ministry of Health against the spread of coronavirus was held today. The contribution rendered by the staff of the Infectious Diseases Hospital in Anguda is commendable. They can be observed engaging in their duties very responsibly, even going beyond the call of duty. In a situation where the coronavirus has spread to a number of countries, health authorities in Sri Lanka have acted appropriately and were able to cure the first reported case. Meanwhile, it has been declared that 13 persons suspected to have been infected have not contracted the virus. Dr. Samravira says another 10 patients are undergoing treatment at the Anguda Infectious Disease Hospital and a number of other hospitals as well. The hotline of the Health Promotion Bureau is available for the public to make inquiries on the coronavirus. The hotline number is 0710 107 107.
Now, in the meantime, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has instructed the health officials to convene veterans in Western and Ayurveda medicine to research a cure for the coronavirus. Special attention on the issue was focused at a discussion held with the Ministers of Health, Foreign Relations, Tourism and Higher Education this evening. The discussion took place at the Presidential Secretariat. The first Sri Lankan patient to have contracted the virus is reportedly recovering and medical practitioners have been able to prevent the spread of the virus. The President expressed his gratitude to all medical staff who assisted in treating the patients. The President instructed for measures to be implemented and to continue in order to protect the people. He also instructed the relevant sections to expand the facilities in hospitals to test for the virus. Now, Chinese ambassador to Sri Lanka, Zheng Yuan, met with Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa at Temple Trees yesterday. Now, at the meeting, the ambassador stated that security of all Sri Lankans residing in China, including the state of Wuhan, has been ensured. The ambassador stated the Chinese government is taking steps to control the spread of the coronavirus and in restoring normalcy in day-to-day activities. The Premier stated there are no obstacles for Chinese nationals residing in Sri Lanka to engage in their routine activities. The Premier further stated speedy action is being taken to get down Sri Lankans residing in Wuhan. The Premier also called on the public and media to act responsibly with regard to the virus. The chanting of Set Pirit will take place at the Sima Malake of the Gangarama Vihare to invoke blessings and the speedy recovery of persons affected by the virus in many countries, including China. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa joined in the Pirit chanting yesterday, which was presided over by the Uttaritara Mahanayaka of the Sri Lanka Amarapura Sangha Sabha, Most Venerable Totagamuya Dhammavasa Thera.
The World Bank has identified many new areas of cooperation in the country. This is in addition to World Bank funded projects that are currently underway. Well, these areas are renewable energy, waste disposal, flood water management, export-oriented crop cultivations, easing of traffic congestion, and also pedestrian and road safety. Vice President of the World Bank overseeing the South Asian region, Hartwig Schaefer, agreed on these areas when meeting President Gotabaya Rajapaksa at the Presidential Secretariat today. The Vice President said financial aid can be granted on concessionary basis for projects intended for these fields. The President, calling to mind the projects that were funded by the World Bank when he was the Defense Secretary, cordially welcomed the new cooperation extended by the World Bank. Focusing attention on plantations, the President said, special focus must be given to the cultivation of minor export crops such as pepper and cinnamon. Currently, 18 projects funded by the World Bank are underway in Sri Lanka. The World Bank Vice President also stated that further assistance will be provided for the multimodal terminal project in Kandy.
Now, the Colombo Magistrates Court today ordered the 6 suspects, including the father of Mohammed Ilham Ahmed, who launched a suicide bomb attack on the Shangri-La Hotel on Easter Sunday, to be further remanded until the 14th of next month. The 6 suspects, including Mohammed Yatu Mohammed Ibrahim, who is a resident of Mahavila Gardens in Demetagoda and is the father of Mohammed Ilham, who unleashed the bomb attacks, were produced before the Colombo Additional Magistrate today. The police requested the court to issue an order for the suspects to be remanded as investigations are still underway. Thereby, Additional Magistrate Tanuja Lakmali ordered that the suspects be further remanded until the 14th of next month. Meanwhile, a 27-year-old resident of Chundikuli in Jaffna by the name of Noreen Flory, who sustained serious injuries in the suicidal attack launched at the St. Anthony's Shrine, Kochikade, last Easter, passed away on the 29th of this month. She had been undergoing treatment for over a period of 9 months at the accident service in Colombo. She was also then transferred to the Ragama Teaching Hospital. Thereafter, she was bedridden for a lengthy period of time after suffering serious skull and brain injuries. The cause of her death has been pneumonia. The remains have been taken to Jaffna by her relatives. With that, it's time for a short break. Stay tuned for more local stories coming up. Welcome back. On to more stories from home now. Attention has been focused on enhancing relations between Sri Lanka and Luxembourg, which is a small country in Europe. Foreign Minister of Luxembourg, Sean Azelburn, is conducting an official tour of Sri Lanka in this regard. The Foreign Minister of Luxembourg arrived in the country last night and was welcomed by officials including Foreign Secretary Ravinath Arya Singha at the airport. The official discussion between Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa and visiting Foreign Minister of Luxembourg took place this morning. At the discussion, the Premier said Sri Lanka is prepared to provide facilities for foreign investments. Although Luxembourg is a small country in Europe, it is considered a wealthy nation. Bilateral trade between the two countries exceed $1.2 million. The visiting Foreign Minister of Luxembourg met with Minister of Foreign Relations Dinesh Gunawardena this afternoon. Attention was focused on new tendencies through which bilateral relations can be strengthened.
All preparations are underway to hold the 72nd Independence Day celebrations on the 4th of February at the Independence Square. This year's theme is A Secure Nation, a Prosperous Country. Over 7,000 participants will be a part of this parade. Rehearsals for the Independence Day celebrations are underway at the Independence Square these days. Well, the police media spokesman, SP Jalia Senaratna, said rehearsals will begin at 6 a.m. on the 1st, 2nd and 3rd of February, and the traffic control plan will come into force with the rehearsals. On the day of independence celebrations, the traffic plan will be in force from 4 a.m. With regard to the rehearsals, the police media spokesman said the rehearsals will mostly probably be underway until 11 a.m. or 12 noon, after which the usual traffic plan will be followed. He further stated a copy of the traffic plan is available, and motorists who are unsure of the arrangement can make use of the traffic plan to proceed along alternate routes. Army media spokesman Brigadier Chandana Wickramasinghe said 7,267 Triforce personnel will be a part of the parade. 72 Triforce vehicles will also be included, and the police special task force will be a part of the parade.
මේ සම්බන්ධව සහභාගී වෙනවා. රථවාහන වශයෙන් පෙළපාලිතර සහභාගී වෙනවා යුද නාවික ගුවන් පොලිස් සහ විශේෂකාරී බලකායේ රථවාහන සන්නද්ධ රථ සමග ත්‍රිවිධ හමුදාවට ආවේනික වූ සියලුම වාහන සහ අදාළ අවි සමග යන වාහන සහභාගී වෙන වාහන 72ක්. කාලු මෝදර පිටියේ අභිමුව
Navy media spokesperson Lieutenant Commander Isuru Suribandar said that the Gulf-faced green vessels of the Sri Lanka Navy will anchor, and at a 25 gun salute will take place to honor the nation. The event will take place at 12 noon and can be witnessed along the stretch from the lighthouse to Gulf-face Green. The theme of the celebration is This is Your Navy.
සමීප අන්දමට නායක හමුදාවේ ක්‍රියාකාරකම් දැක බලා ගැනීමට මේ ඔබේ නායක හමුදාවයි යන තේමාව යටතේ අපි අංක රැසක් සූදානම් කරලා තිබෙනවා. පසරු දෙකේ සිට ගාලු මෝදර පිටියට පැමිණුණොත්.
Air Force media spokesperson Group Captain Gihan Sirmiratna said the Air Force will be extending its fullest support to make the 72nd Independence Day celebrations a success.
තුනකුත් සහභාගී වෙනවා. අංක 5 බලගණයට අයත් F7 වර්ගයේ ජෙට් යාන 3ක් සංදර්ශනයට සහභාගී වෙනවා. අංක 6 බලගණයට අයත් MI-17 වර්ගයේ හෙලිකොප්ටර් 3ක්, අංක 8 සහ 3.
Now, Minister Bandula Gunawardena says a speedy solution will be given to the issue pertaining to the degrees awarded by advanced technological institutes. He mentioned this move at a media briefing held at the Government Information Centre today. Students of advanced technological institutes engaged in a protest yesterday demanding for degree awarding status that has been gazetted to be imposed. Minister Bandula Gunawardena said as the previous government totally neglected certain issues, it is the responsibility of the present government to resolve those issues. He further stated the committee will submit recommendations within 2 weeks.
මින් පස්සේ පරණ ක්‍රමයේ අත්හැරලා සාකච්ඡා කරන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් අර ඉස්සර වගේ ගේට්ටු අහලා නැහැ.
Meanwhile, daily wage earning employees and contract employees of the Cultural Fund also staged a protest yesterday demanding job security. Joining in the media briefing, Secretary to the Cultural Fund Bandula Haris Chandra said many irregularities have occurred and many recruitments have been done. However, attention will be given sympathetically with regard to the employees of the fund.
An event titled An Inspiring Evening with Roshan Mahanam, organized by the MBA Alumni Association of the University of Colombo, took place at the Galadari Hotel today. Former cricketer Roshan Mahanam, who was a chief guest, expressed his views on his cricketing career, facing challenges and on achieving goals to succeed in life.
To be our first event for 2020.
Contribution to cricket, the honorary member. I represented my country for 14 years, and the only time I captained Sri Lanka, there was a challenge there as well. I'm not sure whether Nissa is going to ask me a question later on, but certainly there is a story there as well, because that's the only tour that we have embarked. Not from Sri Lanka cricket, but we took off from the Taj Hotel. When we had training, we had police protection. Some of our members were attacked by the public, but we were never disturbed. We focused on what we had to do. I know when we came back after the tour to mingle around with my captain and some of the senior players who did not go on the tour was challenging, but that's what sport teaches, and I think that's what we need to learn in the corporate world as well. There might be disagreements, there might be instances where we might not agree, but we need to be strong enough to put these differences aside and to work towards a common goal. After I retired from the game that I so passionately love, I did my coaching courses and were planning a career as a coach, but ended up being a match referee. There are two stories. I don't know whether during the Q&A, Nissa, again, whether you're going to ask me, because I had to make some career choices. First, when I was playing for the school under-19 team, that was between my studies and the game, and later on, my passion, my aim was to do something more hands-on. I was getting ready because I just thought in whatever field you choose, you need to be qualified, and I did my coaching courses. I was qualified to be the Sri Lanka A-team coach. I was the highest paid Sri Lankan in the board in the year 2002-2003, and I stepped down on a matter of principle. When one door closes, another door opens. And for me, the greatest honor is working for the ICC, as I feel that they have recognized my honesty and integrity. And working for the ICC was the best thing that happened to me. Like I mentioned, I come from a humble background, and I never thought that I will be involved in close to 600 international matches, more than 250 as a player and more than 300 as a match referee. For me to pursue my career as a match referee, I was moving away from being a player or a coach, a subject that I knew very well, where I focused heavily from a very young age. But getting into the role of a match referee, getting into an administrative position without having a background was quite tough. But it's all about taking up challenges. For a moment, I never thought that I will pursue a career in match refereeing. When people said that you will be ideal to join Ranjan Madugalle in the elite panel of match referees, I never thought that it was going to be a role for me.
All right, then that is a wrap on tonight's news. Along with Clifford, I'm Nitya, wishing you a very good night.